All right. So I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lauren Venable of Balanced Roots. I do energy healing, and I have a product line of healing crystal bath products and crystal oil roll-ons. And I'm just really excited to have everybody here. I think this is going to be fun. It already feels like a little group of sisters hanging out in the living room before a little holiday party. But I have one of my soul sisters, Inge, here today to share some root chakra wisdom with us and get us all nice and grounded and balanced and steady as we start the holiday chaos. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the meeting over to her. And like I said, feel free to use the chat box if you have any questions. And if you don't have access to the chat box, hit me up through Facebook. I'm going to mute myself now.
So, hi everybody. This is really exciting for me. I can see all your names and
okay, Inge.
It really feels like you can't hear me. Oh no. Can everybody hear me? Maybe in the chat box you can say.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You can hear me? Okay. So if you don't hear me, maybe Lauren, you can say that. Just put in the chat box. I'm sure if you don't hear me, that's a problem.
I can hear you.
You do?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. Good. Glad. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the tech. It's always a bit of a gamble. Right. So thank you for introducing me, Lauren. I'm really, really excited to be here and to share with you today. I noticed like an hour ago that Lauren's community is called the Balanced Roots Community, and guess what we're doing today? It's a really nice way to start it off, to talk about the chakras and the root chakra today, to get stable, grounded, and balance those roots. And so a little bit about me. I'm Inge Brewer. I'm an energy therapist. I've been doing this work I'm rounding up my 4th year now, which I'm feeling really proud of. It feels really cool. And so I really help people connect to themselves, listen to the messages in their body and in their soul, so that they can move forward and express their gifts more fully in the world and be present and be a present, I guess, to our world. So the intention today is a little bit to talk about the root chakra and how it can really share a lot of wisdom with us to survive the holidays, and how it can help us be really stable, grounded, and move forward with ease. But before we really go into that, I'd love to know a little bit what you know about the chakras, basically ranging from I've never heard that word before, I have no idea what you're talking about, or I've heard about them, I kind of know that there's themes, but not more than that, or you actually work with them yourself, or so if you can type that in the chat box, that would be fantastic, so I get a bit of an idea of who I'm talking to.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute the phones for a minute just so we can get some, because I know the phone people can't get on their chat box. So I'm going to unmute everybody and just feel free to just say, I have no idea what you're talking about, or kind of share a little bit. Anybody? Not everybody all at once.
I dabble around with them.
Cool.
So familiar.
Gotcha.
Awesome. And then I know my
heard of them, but like to learn more.
Great. Good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then also, does anybody know how you raise your hand before do y'all remember that, Wanda or Inge?
Nope.
Okay, because I know there is a way when you're on your phone to raise your hand. I'm going to look into that, and I'll put it in the chat box when I find it out. And I'm going to hand it back over to.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, so So I'm getting a sense you guys know what I'm talking about when I'm saying the word chakra, at least. So basically, we've got different energy centers in our body, and they each affect our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So the root chakra, so yeah, in our Western world, we usually talk about 7, but there's so many different ways to talk about it. There's a 12 chakra system, there's the 108 chakra system, there's a whole bunch, but in this case, we're just talking about the root chakra, which is really the base of it all. So it's the ground for our energy system. It's associated with the earth element. So it helps us govern sort of everything in the material world. And the theme for this chakra is all about survival. So we have this kind of program in us, of course we do, to keep us alive and surviving. So the themes that are part of that are very, it helps when you think back to us as tribal creatures in like the cavemen kind of style. So in that time, what was really important? Well, our tribe. So the people that were around, the people that are part of our community, all of that is part of the root chakra. And that will express itself in sort of how we can feel in our bodies and in our legs and in the deepest part of ourselves in that way. So our tribe, food, really important, as well as shelter. So those 3 things combining will really be the themes of the root chakra. In our modern world, we also need money, obviously. And so we're going to look at today a little bit how those themes play out and how they play out in the holidays, which is really all around those themes, actually. But I'd like, before we really go into any of that and we really talk about that, let's do a little meditation to get grounded and to get feeling safe. So I'm going to invite you all to just take a couple of deep breaths, and wherever you are, and if it feels okay to do that, you can close your eyes. And just take a couple of deep breaths. And as you take these deep breaths, I'd like you to bring special attention to your bum on the chair that you're sitting in. And just see if you can let your energy kind of melt into the chair. Connecting with you as a physical being, with gravity acting upon you. And at the same time, feeling the support of the chair that you're in. And connecting with that it is supporting you. And I'd like you to see for yourself if it feels okay to surrender into that. If it feels safe to just sit for a moment. Does it feel okay to be here? As a physical being, taking up physical space Does that feel okay in this moment? And then I'd like to invite you just inside of yourself, just adjusting maybe your posture a little bit, just adjusting where you're bringing your awareness. If you can allow yourself to be just a little bit more present and feel just a little bit more safe. And that might mean for you to give yourself permission to have the feelings you're having right now. And maybe that might mean to remember how much good there already is in your life right now. Just breathing into that. What needs to shift for me to feel a bit more safe in this moment, a little bit more okay with being here? And then you can take another couple of deep breaths. Letting go into the chair a bit further and seeing if you can just bring your feet to the floor. And letting your feet sink into the floor. Giving attention to your whole pelvic area, your legs. And just bringing attention to that area in your body, in your being. And the invitation is to embody yourself just a little bit more. To let your consciousness go all the way into your legs, into your feet. Becoming ever more present, stable, safe. And then I'd like you to take another deep breath, bringing your shoulders up to your ears. In breath and shaking it out. That's one of my favorite ones to get back in the body. So that felt good to you. Do another 2 times. Just yeah. And if you're muted, you can kind of let it out like that. So, there we go. And welcome from a different space. So what I always like to do in my classes, I don't know if it's possible with this system, is to, if you can just type one word in the chat box for how you're feeling right now. Or, yeah, totally new space, Lauren. Yeah, exactly. And so that's the space. That's the, Danny says cozy. Yeah. Oh, let me see what it comes up in the chat. I just opened that. Calm, absolutely. What else? Relaxed. That. So what would it be like to approach the holidays from that cozy, calm, relaxed, open kind of place? And that's a little bit of the aim today. And so right before we get into kind of maybe the mental things again, is that breathing in and like shaking it out is one of the most effective ways I know of getting back in my body in almost no time. that and letting my bum melt into the chair anytime, because I can get so freaking mental, like buzz, 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 excitement, excitement, excitement. And it's like I'm not fully there. I'm just in the buzzy, buzzy space. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. I don't think I'm alone in that at all. So yeah, it's kind of letting that spread into more of our being, so that we can be in the holidays. We can actually be with the people we care about, and that's sometimes a little hard to do because there's a lot of stresses inherent in the holidays. So as I was preparing for this, I was kind of thinking about, okay, well, what's the root chakra about, and what happens in the holidays? Thinking back to experiences I've had, and that buzzy, buzzy, buzzy place has definitely been present for me in the holidays, and I see that all around me. And I think one of the best parts of grounding is that you definitely ground for yourself, but you also create that space for people around you to kind of just relax and come down a little bit. So it's kind of it's a nice thing to do for other people as well. And so I think I'm seeing a remaining meeting time of 9:55. Just want to check in with Lauren. I know we'll continue. So
No, we're going to continue. I guess since I hopped on early, or since we got on early, it started our meeting early. So I'm just going to upgrade to pro. So ignore it. We'll be good in 5 seconds.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry for the panic.
Yeah, so if you picture that image of everybody's being really buzzy and kind of stressed out in the holidays, and then there's just this one person that's really present in their body, how soothing that is to everybody around. And so that's the gift of being you. That's the present that is your presence, if you will. And but it's challenging. It just really is challenging. And the themes of the root chakra, the survival, the feeling safe, our tribe, food, money, and all of these things in the holidays are up. Like, how much money do we spend in presents? How much seeing our family, which is the tribe we grew up with, but we might have really changed and morphed and started identifying with different belief systems. And so that can be really, really challenging for us. And then there's the food. Oh my God, the food. There's so much food. And our relationship with that is going to come up too. And then often we also travel for the holidays, and we're literally uprooted from where our home is and where we live. And if we're the ones receiving, there's people in our space. So it really brings up all the root chakra stuff. So that's where doing the inner work can be really helpful, and just to be aware that that can be challenging. And when the root is unbalanced, or when the root gets basically each chakra has a bit of a signal, and that there's something up with it, and the root chakra signal is fear or anxiety, or it's like a up energy. It's really that's what it is. Your energy doesn't root, it's not present anymore, so it goes whoop, and that can feel quite anxious and buzzy and all of that. So what I thought we might do today is just kind of talk about each one of those things that come up in the holidays, and find some tips for each one of them to help your root kind of rebalance. So maybe in the group chat again, if you feel up to it, just from what I've just said, which aspects of the holidays are especially stressful for you in that root chakra theme. So I'd love to see what's there for you. So really that you're traveling, you're uprooting your roots under your feet, go whoop, and then they have to find somewhere else, or the spending the money, or your family. those aspects. So I'm just gonna wait a moment to see what you, being with family, yeah. Family members, food, and money, yeah, absolutely. All of the above there, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Yeah, could totally get that. Yeah, liking your spiritual family better. Yeah, so about the tribe, what I was kind of coming to, I was kind of meditating about that, is our tribe, our family is still on some level our roots. It is where we come from. And even if we have done a big work of uprooting from there and moving away from those roots, there can be something that's actually really nice in being around those, around well, obviously there's a lot of love in family often, but it can be something nice to just see what those roots look like too, what that was. And so to kind of have that perspective, if it's, you're safe, you are safe, even if you don't fit in with your family anymore, and it's not as big a deal as your energy might make it feel, because your energy is like, oh my god, if I don't fit in with my family, I have to fight with saber-toothed tigers all by myself. And that is not the case for you. So that can be something to remember, that you don't have to fit in, and it's okay to find your roots elsewhere. So if family is really challenging, the suggestion of the root chakra might be just feel into the support of the earth. And maybe if you go into the house that you grew up in, you've got a connection with the house you grew up in, you can root into that. And you can root with, and that's where just taking special attention to how your energy moves with that. When your family gets really challenging, if your energy goes really up and you go into defensive mode and feeling you have to defend who you've become and how you've changed, just kind of change the perspective a little bit and kind of see, okay, here I'm getting ungrounded, I'm getting unrooted, and just reroute, grow some roots. So reroute, whatever. So growing some roots. So as I'm saying that, what I really mean by that is to just bring your awareness into the lower parts of your body again. So just in your legs. And what might be nice is to take little breaks whenever you get really hardcore into it with the family. So just go for a little walk, or if cooking is something that feels really grounding to you, just do that and bring your full attention to that. And that's where, for each of us, what makes us feel safe is going to be totally different. And that's an invitation when you go with the family, is how can I feel safe here completely? And for some of us, family just feels safe, and that's what's great. So we get to kind of replenish the roots by being part of that community as well. So there's that aspect too. But so if for you, like essential oils or crystals, and I know Wanda's going to be talking about that with the crystals, whatever energetically helps you feel safe is going to be key. And so, it can be something as silly as like having a specific blanket. Like I got this new robe, and whenever I wrap it, I'm like, I feel safe. So that would be something I just bring and be like, I'm going to wear my robe now. And yeah, and just like cozy up and not take it too seriously, essentially, and just remember that you're safe on this earth, no matter what, really. And that's a mantra you can use, is I'm safe. And you can feel into what the wording feels best for you. pausing this alligator to go put on your safety ring. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Wanda. Yeah. So finding a mantra can be really helpful too. Just something to bring your attention back to, something to remind you, I am safe. So that I am safe really works for me, but it might also be I am supported, or the earth is taking care of me, or I am taken care of no matter what, or it's safe for me to be here, or it might take a different flavor for you. It might be something more around I am loved, it's okay to be. So that can be something for you to explore. And what I like about mantras is that for me, they're really not a mental thing. It's really more about how do these words make me feel. And I can I just said all of those and my shoulders just relaxed, and it worked. And I wasn't even working it in that way. I can feel, it kind of just calms the whole energy system down for me. So if you have a version of those mantras, it'd be great if you shared those in the chat box or even in the group later, so we can all benefit from those words, because it's all about how they make you feel, and it's all about, do they allow you to reground? So that's one. That's a few tricks to reground around family, but they work with the food, money as well. So with the food and money, there's another aspect I wanted to talk about, is the root gets really freaked out when it feels it's like there's scarcity. And it's a bit of a weird thing, because in the holidays, that's exactly what we're doing. We're really like celebrating abundance. We're making so much abundance happen. Like the feasts we make are like insane, and the presents, and people go really crazy about that. But if in ourselves it feels like there's never enough, then we might kind of just go into that, like, let me stuff my face completely and let me get all the presents, and it still doesn't feel enough. And that's something where we can get really ungrounded too. So that's another place to kind of watch how that is for us. And an antidote there is really to practice presence and gratitude. So for food, what I've been exploring, and I'm not good at this, which is going to be straight up, like you give me a box of cookies, I eat all the cookies. But I was exploring. I had a group of women over a couple of weeks ago, and we're exploring pleasure. And some women had brought a box of chocolates. And so that box of chocolates, when the women were there, we were consciously exploring pleasure. I had this teeny little chocolate, and then I bit into it, and I allowed myself to really feel the pleasure of it and really enjoy the chocolate. Whereas usually, exactly like you're saying, Lauren, is usually I might eat just so that I can feel my lower body and I can ground through it, which isn't that helpful, because it just makes you feel kind of sick. Not great. But at that time, I had that little piece of chocolate, and I swear to you, like, it's like this big, this chocolate. I ate one bite and I was satiated. I was like, I don't even want a little piece more. That was like more than enough, and it was the best chocolate I had ever. And then the chocolate box was there the next day, and I just ate them all mindlessly in like 20 minutes. And it was like the best example of where you are in your mind, in your energy, and how you're going to relate to the food. So, okay, yeah, bye, Sophie. So that to me was so eye-opening, and it can be transferred to the holidays as well. So you've got your abundant plate and it's beautiful, like enjoy it completely, like let it fully come in and let it nourish your body, because that's very much what the root chakra is about too, like nourishment. But you have to let it in instead of just shoving things in your face. And that makes the like it really kind of gets you overgrounded, if you will, just like bleh, and there's no more energy to do anything else, and just like nah. So to be mindful, yeah, exactly. So that's another place where the root chakra really comes into play, really. And then I guess that's what I wanted to say about the food there too. If you have tips, I am all ears, because I'm not good with that aspect at all. And then I guess there's the money piece too, where we can go really into scarcity mode as well of, oh my God, I have all these gifts I have to get, and I have to get the perfect thing. And that's one big stress for me. And that too is something we've been doing in my family, is we've been not doing gifts. And what I've noticed is that in the holidays for me, is that the gift giving kind of becomes not an excuse, or like almost a replacement of my presence, and letting that actually be a gift, switch something around the gift giving to, and then like so it's about me really being there with the people I love in the holidays. And then if on top of that, like the gifts are able to be there and to come from that place, from a grounded place, then it feels a lot better. Whereas before it was more like an exchange stress. So I know every family is different, and the rules and regulations you have around that can be really different, but they're too doing it from a grounded place where you are enough, and then you can look at really what does your money situation look like, and what are you actually able to give, and that might mean doing a bit more. But so can your family adopt me? Yeah, and I really recognize that's a stressful thing. And so the root chakra wisdom is really to ground and to allow yourself to be fully present in that, and then being really real about what's possible as an exchange there. But I recognize that it's super hard and not an easy fix, if you will, and it is just stressful. So that's where, again, and I can feel the energy really going like around this topic. So that's kind of the other aspect I wanted to touch upon a little bit, is that often we're really up and the grounding is a bit difficult, but it can be the other way around too, that we get so concerned with the material stuff and the money stuff that our roots get like huge and there's no other energy available. So it's also okay. It's also okay to kind of pull them up a little bit and to let things be light and let things be flowy. So Wanda, I used to get totally stressed about the gift exchanges, and then no one liked what you got them, so we stopped giving gifts altogether, and I love this. Way less stress. Yeah, that's what would happen in my family too. And we're a teeny little family. I mean, we're 4 now. I have a boyfriend and my sister has a husband, so we're 6 in my family. But yeah. So if you have that kind of choice, you can maybe make that kind of choice too. And that's a bigger point too. So if you're kind of in that big organizing and trying to make everything perfect for the holiday, oh, hi! That's nice. That lights up the energy. if you get, like way too bogged down with all the details and all the getting stuff done and making everything perfect, that unrooting, if you will, can be actually, or like giving a bit less attention to that can be really helpful as well. And that's okay too. And letting things be a bit messy and letting things be a bit imperfect, and kind of using maybe that crown energy of everything is perfect already. And what it looks like in the material world is not actually the most important. The most important is that you are fully present and that you are there with the people that you love. And that's, again, I guess that's what I keep coming back to, that you're the present. And so that's a little bit, I guess, what I wanted to say on a mental level. And so just to kind of ground that with some actual tips of things you can do in your own energy, I've got a few. So one of them is the butt on the chair. So every time you sit down somewhere, just allow yourself to sit there, just maybe 5 seconds, and just feeling you being present. Another one is whenever you arrive somewhere and you've been kind of uprooted, and if you've been traveling or you're going to someone else's house, is just giving some time to growing your roots there. So you can really literally go to the bathroom and visualize some roots growing underneath your feet, and just allowing your energy to get comfortable in this new space. Even just connecting with the earth and connecting with the support that's always there, even if it does feel a little uncomfortable, especially like if you're in your partner's family, you don't know them that well yet, for instance, where it's like foreign a little bit, those roots can really, really, really help. A third one is a question that I find really helpful, especially if you notice you're getting really stressed, basically, is to ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? And then actually listening to the answer and then implementing what that would be. So what do I need? It might be, I need to not decorate the tree right now and I need to take a bath instead. Or I need to let go of the pressure I'm putting on myself with the presents. Or I need to go and play with the kids because they're fun. Whatever that is, or I need to let go. And so that question, anytime in life, and especially when it's a bit stressful, can really help ground and really help figure out what you need. There you go. Very nice of comment. So that, and the other one I mentioned is using a mantra. Using a mantra of I am safe, I am fine, I'm supported, this too shall pass is also a good one. And then the last one I'd suggest is taking 20-second meditation breaks. Because we can often get the excuse of like, oh, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time. There's so much stuff to do. But you have 20 seconds. Unless you don't, then you really need 40 seconds. So those are some tips to ground through the holidays and enjoy the connections, enjoy the food, enjoy the presence of the people you love, and enjoy the magical moments you're creating together. So I think that's kind of it. And also, the last one is to kind of ban lack consciousness in you and replace that with gratitude and with appreciation. So you can always, that's really a matter of perspective, and I think that applies in all things in life forever is to appreciate really the good times and to really live them, like my little chocolate story. Live them truly, and that'll allow you to be present. So yeah, exactly. Good excuse to go to the restroom and go reground. I do that all the time, actually. And it's a really nice private space. And there's another visualization I like that is when you're sitting anywhere, or to have a grounding cord that goes from your bum essentially down into the ground. And I always call that the cosmic toilet seat. So basically, you're sitting and you've got a tube going down. And if you have more time to set that up, that can be a really helpful tool as well. To always bring your cosmic toilet seat. And whenever there's all sorts of crap and like stuff in your space you don't need, you like flush it down. Flush it down the toilet. And I really like that one, just to keep the space clear. And yeah, you can go to the bathroom, you can go take little breaks, especially if you're really sensitive and there's a lot of stuff happening or drama happening with the people around. Then giving yourself the space to put yourself in a column of white light, or to use your cosmic toilet seat, or regrow your roots, all very good and helpful. So maybe we can unmute, and if anybody has anything they want to share.
Right, let's unmute everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's taking a minute. It would have been more effective if it was like instant. I'm like still laughing out loud about your cause. It's like it's grounding, but it also lifts up the energy because it's funny. So if you can ground and laugh with one action, like that's wonderful.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be that serious.
Right.
It's allowed to be light and grounded at the same time. Ground, like light and tethered.
Heavy grounding.
Yeah.
Very light.
That's what Danny was saying. She said she's here on the couch next to me if anybody wonders who I've been talking to. she was like kind of not surprised, but like happy about like the light energy of this, that it was like super grounding and but also like really lighthearted and fun and like more accessible. It's like the less serious side of the root chakra, the practical side. So thanks, Inge. Anybody else wants to share anything?
Thanks, Inge. That was great. The next time something stressful happens, I'm just going to have to laugh and take a cosmic crack. I'm really just going to think about it. That's great. I love it.
I love it.
Oh.
Y'all have to share your stories of that. If you do it at family stuff, you have to come in group and let us know about your, cosmic crafts.
Oh, man.
Oh, cool. Anybody else want to share before we hop off? And then everyone's always welcome to come share in the group. So, any questions? No?
You did great, Inge. You did great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know you were nervous. You did fine.
I was so nervous.
No, you did amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Cool. So can we like close it out just with a few breaths together? I think we should all just like close our eyes and just take a moment to appreciate Inge for being here and sending her a little bit of love and appreciation for sharing her chakra wisdom with us. And then just taking a few breaths together to let it all go. So just inhaling nice and big through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. 2 more like that together. And 1 more. All right. Again, everyone's welcome to come connect in the Facebook group. Thank you all so much for joining us live. This was so much fun.
It's really fun.
And I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be chatting about the reframing that I do, which is another cool holiday tip. But first, I do think, Inge, did you want to share about your webinar? Really?
Yeah.
I forgot. She had something exciting.
I do. So on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so I guess that's 7 Central, I am giving a free webinar on the chakras. So it's not necessarily holiday themed this time, but yeah, the wisdom of each of the chakras, they all have so much to share. And what I'm really excited about is like the practicality of it all and how we can make it work in our lives. Because it's just a very powerful technology. And that's what I'm going to be sharing. So what we're going to do on the webinar is actually, there's going to be a question for each chakra. So you're going to be creating a bit of a map of balance for you. So that I'm excited about. And you're all invited. I can post on the group so you can register. And I'd love to see you there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So we will end it on that note. And yes, she'll post the link so that you can sign up through the group. And then you can also post a link to your Facebook group as well.
Yes.
Share the love. All right. Well, y'all have a good afternoon. Bring any questions to the group. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.